Hey guys, Zach here. I know it's called football. Let's get started. Manchester United 3, Arsenal 2. Arsenal going away yesterday to Old Trafford and coming away with 0 points. Seems to be the trend really this season. I think when you talk about top four teams, and while United now they sit in fifth, you look at the Liverpool game, City, and Chelsea, and really those are games that we lost. Um, Liverpool 4, City 5, and Chelsea somehow only put two past us. The game was pretty competitive. Obviously, we scored the first goal, but again, we score this goal and we just go into this tactic that the manager seems to want to enforce so strictly. You're a goal ahead, and you have to say that United team was probably a little shaken by what happened. It was such a strange goal, such a strange thing to happen where the goalkeeper goes down and Emil Smith Rowe puts quite a nice volley in the back of the net. And you have to say those United players are probably a bit flabbergasted, and perhaps they were frustrated as well. Um, but we just sat off. We just have this obsession with playing out from the back, which is great sometimes, and we did it well today for the most part. Something I'll get into a bit later on in the video. But, when you're playing out from the back and you're a goal ahead, you're gonna be pressed. I mean, look at Cristiano Ronaldo was chasing down Ramsdale during parts of the game. Bruno Fernandes was getting up. Marcus Rashford was pressing really well, and I just don't understand this tactic and this obsession with playing out from the back like that. Why can't we play on the front foot? I mean, most of the first half we controlled the game. There was a stint of the game, obviously, where Odegaard had trouble getting into it and couldn't really get on the ball. Thomas Partey with a lot of giveaways in the middle of the park, just poor passing. Overall, a really poor game from him. Although I must say he did a kind of, everyone calls it the pre-assist nowadays. A pretty basic ball out to Martinelli, who had a really fantastic first time cross into Odegaard to score that second goal for us. But a poor game from him in that midfield. I mean, El Neni really was the best midfielder that we had of the two yesterday. Anyway, um, look, disappointing really to lose against this United side, and I think at the end of the day, it's really the Cristiano Ronaldo effect. The guy put two goals away, really brilliant penalty, and the goal that he scored, to put them ahead was that's not a tap in. I've seen some people call him a tap in. It was a tap in, and it was a great finish from him. As was Odegaard's pretty similar goal, but hit with conviction, and no way Ramsdale was going to get a hand on that. And we kind of just capitulated from there. The third goal went in, the penalty was given away. Odegaard tied it up and went from hero to villain, as everyone has been saying. That was the first thought that came into my head. And Martin Atkinson, he seems so sure of himself. Just a poor game from him too. And I'll get into VAR and talk about the disgraceful decisions from VAR last night. In fact, one decision alone that really could have altered the game. I'll get into that a bit later on. But he waived no penalty, and I thought the same. I thought, this is Fred. He's going down. He worked hard to get in that position, and he went down. And look, it was smart from him. He left his leg out there, and Odegaard caught him, and it was a penalty. I mean, it was a penalty. And in fact, let's just go talk about this. You know what? I'll leave it. I'll talk about the lineup. You'll see me looking up here periodically during the video. It's because I have a lot of notes that I want to get through. I'll just start with Arteta in the lineup. I think he got it wrong with the substitutions. I did think that the lineup itself wasn't horrible. Obviously Aubameyang was going to start this game. I think you have a game against a big club like Manchester United. Putting your captain on the bench probably says a bit too much than you mean it to say, and with pundits and journalists, and questions are coming in the press conference, and it's just something you're going to have to deal with. And I think he's trying to play him in form. And again, I don't know how he dropped out of form again, because he missed the penalty at Aston Villa, put it away, and he had some great link ups against Aston Villa with Emil Smith Rowe for that third goal. just the nice deftest of touches, and he's just dropped off again. I don't know why. I don't know what's happened. I don't know if it's age. Obviously, I can't compare him to Ronaldo, but he's 36 and he's doing what he's doing. Obviously, so I, I just don't know what it is. Oh my, hang on a second. Well, I don't think anyone's watching anyway, but my cat just clawed at the door. So, look, getting back into it, the form that Aubameyang has found himself in, surely this is the last straw now, and he cannot start against Everton. Start Lacazette up front, or start Martinelli there. Bukayo Saka seems to be fine. I'm not sure if he's carrying a knock, or obviously you don't want to risk anything. You gave him about 20 minutes at the end of the game, which I think was expected. After the Newcastle game, he came off and could have been worse. Gave him a 20 minutes, so I would expect him to start. So perhaps he does start on the right, and Emile Smith-Rowe can start on the left, and maybe you try Lacazette and Martinelli as that front two. But surely Aubameyang has to be dropped. I mean, the guy has done a lot for us, helped us win that FA Cup, and very, very likable guy, captain of the football club. But look, I have to question the captaincy. Really, he's almost too nice, too much of a personality. Look, you love to see people smiling and enjoying and having fun, and of course you can't hold like something like that against him. But a captain of the football club needs to have grit. Needs to dig deep down and lead players on the pitch, and you see more of that from Granit Xhaka than Aubameyang. And, really, the only time you see stuff from Auba is maybe during celebrations. Every once in a while, you'll see him trying to motivate the players, around him. But really, it doesn't happen too often. My dog is at the door. Jesus Christ. And when it comes to leadership, that's what you need in a team, especially a team that's struggling. Jesus Christ. No one's watching anyway. Come on. Fucking hell. That's what you need in a team. That's what you need your captain to do, is to lead the team. And I just don't think Auba does a very good job at that. And I think the captaincy is I don't know, man. He got it by default, or I just don't know. I don't know, but it never felt right. It really never felt right. I can't get stuck on this topic for too long, because I don't want to have so many. I just don't know, man. I'm so unsure about this. I am sure though that he has to be dropped against Everton on Monday. Surely he has to be dropped. Martinelli cannot be dropped. He's shown. I mean, he was the hardest working player on the pitch, the best player on the pitch for us, by a mile. And hopefully he's not dropped. If he has to start on the right, and maybe Saka's not ready to start yet, maybe give him 30, maybe give him 20 minutes. I'm not quite sure what the situation is. But look, for me, Auba needs to be dropped. Put Lacazette up front. I have a horrible feeling that if in fact Auba is dropped, that somehow Eddie Nketiah is going to find himself starting for Arsenal, which I just don't understand. And I can get into that now because I have plenty of notes about it. Oh my God, these fucking animals. Stop. Look, I think Lee Judges said it really, really well on AFTV. Is how is this guy still playing for Arsenal? Doesn't want to sign a new contract, wants to leave. Here you have Pepe on a bench. Forget the £72 million that cost him to bring to this club. Has he lived up to it? No, he has certainly not lived up to that price tag. But he makes a difference. I mean, if you were to put money down on who is going to dribble past Harry Maguire or Lindelof, is it going to be Pepe or Nketiah? I mean, surely 90% of people, 99% of people are going to put their money on Pepe, despite the fact that he is very unpredictable with his dribbles. He seems to have, bobbleheads for feet sometimes, and I don't know what that says about Pepe. It says a lot about Arteta, I think. And I don't know if he doesn't trust Pepe or he's worried about conceding another goal. But look, we're down 3-2. You have to get a goal. Losing by 2 at that point, what I mean, is he really too proud to lose by 2 goals? We lost 5-0 to City, lost 4-0 to Liverpool. So, I don't know what exactly that says, or if it's a trusting with Pepe, because he was the best player on form last season, putting away goals. He's a great finisher. You give Pepe credit for that. He is a good finisher, and I just don't know what Eddie Nketiah is doing coming on to make a difference against United at Old Trafford. Man, it's so frustrating, and the decisions that the manager has made, again, I think I'm just looking at my notes here. The decision to take off Emile Smith-Rowe, when Bukayo Saka came on and Lacazette came on for Auba, I just didn't get it. I don't know why you would want to take him off. Our most creative player being sacrificed for another one of our creative players. Perhaps both of them are our most creative players. And again, that says a lot about our team, having these 2 youngsters, 20 and 21, being our most creative players. You could, of course, have Odegaard in there, who's just 22 years old. So, but I think you could have just taken off Thomas Partey, who was not having a good game. El Neni, did his job well. You knew what he was going to do. He's going to sit back, doesn't offer passes forward, but gives those forward players, and an opportunity to pass back if they're under pressure. And how many back passes did El Neni make? I don't want to see people complaining about that, because it's what he does. It's why he was in the team. Last season, we went to Old Trafford and ended up winning. Obviously, it was just one penalty from Aubameyang, but different season, different teams, different manager, in fact, for Manchester United. And this has to be the worst video I've ever made. Cats, dogs, kids stomping upstairs. What are the odds someone's watching 12 minutes into my video anyway? Look, I'm getting sidetracked here. I have a lot of notes. I'm trying to stick to this. Like I was saying, El Neni did his job. Partey, really bad game. Aubameyang was shocking. He was invisible. It was 10 men against 11. He really didn't do anything apart from a couple passes, a couple flicks. Wasn't a threat at all. And the fact that you're taking your captain off when you need a goal, and you could see it in his face when he came off. I think he knows it was a disappointing game from him. I'm not going to sit here and berate the guy and come after him. It was a really poor game from him. Look, that's all I can really say. I can't say anything else about Aubameyang, really. I did briefly mention that Gabriel Martinelli had a brilliant game. I thought his pressing, his passing, he had that run sort of almost towards the end of the game, maybe 70-ish minutes, just picked the ball up in the Arsenal half and just went on a run. I thought I was done talking about Aubameyang, but I'm not. The pass he laid off, he did all the work himself. All the work himself. Laid it off to Aubameyang, who was in a pretty good position to shoot. Got a shot away, but there was no conviction in it. It was like back to the Auba at the start of the season with just this light-footed, these light-footed shots, and there was just nothing in it. As soon as he got the ball, I sat back in my chair like this, because I just was not convinced that he was gonna, put a decent effort on goal. And De Gea caught that like it was, Jesus, I have no words, man. I just have no words. Oh, God, man, I'm so lost in this video. It's such a frustrating video to make. Look, let's move on. I want to talk about VAR and the disgraceful decision from the VAR. I should say non-decision that was made. What are the rules when it comes to VAR? Should they not be looking at every incident on the pitch at all times? Maybe you can't look at it, but they have screens in there. They're watching the same game as us. They have the ability to rewind and do whatever they want, however they want to look at the game. And if they looked at that and they didn't call it a foul, then something is wrong with the referees. But the fact that there was no word of anything, no hint, no commentator saying the VAR are going to have a look at this. There's an incident in the penalty box and VAR don't look at it. So what are they doing? What is the point of having these people, these referees sitting in there, meant to analyze the game, meant to get everything right, and they can't even they don't even give themselves an opportunity to make the right call? Clearly it was a foul. I understand the foul started outside the box, There was a rule, a continuous foul, where he was pulled when he was actually yanked down. Tomiyasu, he was in the box. I mean, there was a little shirt pull which is defending. That's football. That's fine. But the tug on his arm, the pull back on his arm, doesn't matter if he was going to get the ball or not. He might have, he might not have. But it was a clear and obvious foul from Harry Maguire, the guy who's done it time and time again. Just got done finishing a suspension for a dog shit challenge. Okay, I mean, call it what it is. And so something has to be done. I mean, this is unacceptable, completely unacceptable. And if it was Arsenal, this was Gabriel who yanked down Bruno Fernandes or yanked down Cristiano Ronaldo, I would be saying the same thing. Trust me, I've said it before. And I would be saying Arsenal really got away with something like that. But I would be slating VAR just like I am now, because it's a continuous effect. If this decision affects Arsenal, if it's VAR, if it's the referees, it's going to continue to affect teams. The bad decisions are going to continue to be made. The wrong decisions are going to be made, and it's going to continue to happen until fans realize, and coaches and everybody realizes, that there must be something that either has to change, or rules have to be explained, or the referees have to come out and say something. And I think it was Michael Oliver or Mike Dean it was who said, referees would only be questioned about wrong decisions, and they would be abuse would be. And no, I'm not in favor of any abuse being hurled at referees. Threats of violence, all of that is complete nonsense. But if you have to explain the wrong decisions you made, then man up and make the decisions. Managers do it, players do it. They come out in interviews and say, I got it wrong, team selection, a player, I should have put that chance away. So why are referees so special? They get to hide after decisions they make or don't make. And us as the fans are just meant to sit here and take it. I mean, really, if we would have had a penalty, would Aubameyang have taken, and would he have scored anyway? He's missed his last two, so there's plenty of things to say and argue about. I mean, certainly, like I said, I'm not even trying to be biased, and I'm not biased. I know I'm not. I would make the same argument about VAR before. If it was this had gone in favor of Arsenal. And I know that because I've done it before. I've done it before because this is an ongoing issue with VAR. And honestly, it's a complete disgrace, man. I was fuming at that decision. Non-decision, I should say. And Harry Maguire got away with it. Manchester United got away with it. It was so clear. It was so obvious. I don't know what is going on in the VAR rooms, but it's a complete disgrace, man. It's a shame. Look, that's about it. Maybe I just want to touch on how I think Odegaard was sort of made a scapegoat yesterday, despite it was a really, really well put away goal. The cross on Martinelli was perfect. Hey, stop! The cross from Martinelli was perfect. Jesus Christ. The finish was really, really deft. It was a nice touch, put it right in the corner. He created chances. He created that chance for Gabriel early on in the first half, and he kind of just shanked it. So look, Odegaard, it was a really bad challenge. I don't know why you're sliding in a penalty box like that, but again, going back to VAR, they looked at that. It was an incident in the box. They looked at it. You would expect them to look at it, but so I don't know what's going on with the VAR decision on the Maguire foul on Tomiyasu. So I just want to touch real briefly on the transfer market and what could happen in January. What could happen this summer. Obviously, I have no insight. I go off of people like Charles Watts and Fabrizio Romano and stuff that I hear. Obviously, it's all interesting because it's about Arsenal. So Lacazette more than likely to leave in June, although there's rumors about Mikel Arteta wants to give him like a 1-year contract, which, this is a guy whose work effort is really, really impressive, especially when he's been coming on as a sub. He's been impressive. So it's not something I would be completely opposed to. You're not going to get any money from the deal, and if he does go anyway. So, I'm indifferent about it right now. I don't even really want to get into it. It's in my notes. I'm going over it. Speaking of strikers, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, there's speculation about him again. I mean, he's out injured right now, and for me, this is not the player to bring Arsenal forward. This is not the forward that you need for Arsenal. I don't think he's good enough. I don't want another model at this club. I want a proper footballer. Look at Tomiyasu. I don't. I need we need footballers, man. We don't need people planting trees and modeling and wearing whatever the hell they're doing. I don't give a shit what it is. I don't want to hear about modeling. I don't want any of that. We need footballers who want to play for this club, who want to win trophies with ambition. All this other shit that goes on the side, I don't want anything to do with it. I don't want players who want to do that. It's just not good enough. I don't want players like that anywhere near this club anymore because it just doesn't work out. You're a footballer. You're paid to play football. Do whatever you want. Obviously, I'm not telling people how to live their life, but for me, in my opinion, it's just not good for football. It's not good for this football club. I mean, if this was Robert Lewandowski, who enjoyed doing things like modeling and had all these things, like Marcus Rashford, what he's done, great footballer, the stuff he's done off the pitch for children in schools, and no one, well, I can't say no one, but it's much different. When Hector Bellerin is planting trees and doing modeling gigs and interviews, and he's playing like shit for Arsenal. I mean, what are we expected to say? Oh, he gave away a penalty against City at the weekend. But hey, look at his jacket. It's like, what are we meant to do? What are we meant to say and believe? And it's not for me, man. That's not a player who's good enough for Arsenal. Don't want to see that deal happen. So, who knows what can happen in the summer? But surely we do need a striker. Lacazette more than likely to leave. Aubameyang really, really out of form. Who knows what can happen? But the summer is an awfully long way to go. And, of course, we do have Everton on Monday, so we'll see what happens there. Guys, this is a long video. I have ranted a lot. If you've watched it all, if you watched a little bit of it, you've skipped around to here, and you've seen this, I do want to say thank you for watching. Thanks for making the effort to click on the channel and the video. I really appreciate it. I'll obviously be making a video for every Arsenal game, including the one on Monday against Everton. So thanks very much for watching, guys, and I will see you when I see you.